Hello and welcome to the very first video with myself, Jeremy McGuinness at Jeremy McGuinness Photography, and where I will do some videos each week on some different edits that I've been asked about and try to help people get a basic understanding with Photoshop that have never used Photoshop before or have minimum interaction with it, just to help to encourage you not to get disheartened by it, and just over time we will learn to use it as we go. And the more you use it, the more you'll get used to, all the different sort of adjustments and so forth that can be made, all the different tools, all the different options. You will learn it over time, but we're going to do it in a way where we will learn as we go. So I'll pick a subject each video, I'll edit that photo, and we'll just use the tools that we need in order to edit that photo. So over time, eventually, the more we do it, the more those tools get fresh in your mind. We'll move on to next tools, next adjustments, next edits, and so forth. So again, please like and subscribe this YouTube channel. It is my first video, and I am hoping to help out a lot more people in regards to their photo editing needs, and just to make sure that if you have any questions or any queries, you don't have to feel like that nobody is there for you to give you advice on photos and help out with any edits. Again, at the end of this, I will leave all my social media details, so please contact me at any stage, and I am going to be issuing a challenge each video as well. So look out for that, okay? You'll hear that at the end of each video as well. So without further ado, let's get to it. So the very first thing I want to do once I've opened my image here in Photoshop is I just want to crop it so I just have my subject in frame, okay? So on the left hand side here, come over to my toolbar, select the crop tool, and then all I do is just drag this in. Now I just want to keep just enough of it in frame, because this is the way that I like to do it is I like to have as much of my subject in frame, and then the foreground and the background not as powerful in the image as the actual subject. So let me just click this tick here or click enter to select my crop that I want. So now that I'm happy with that, I just come over here to the left hand side, come down to the zoom tool. Once I click on that, the plus and minus arrows along the top here, which are basically on the options bar. So this is your toolbar and this is your options bar. If I click plus here, I just want to zoom in just so I have enough of the snake just in frame. Let me just zoom out a little bit and just bring this over. And the very first tool that we are going to use, right, I did forget one important factor, is always duplicate your main layer, okay, and just turn it off just for safekeeping. If anything goes wrong with this edit, we can delete this and go back to our original and start again. So on the left hand side, let me just click my quick selection tool. So if you click and hold your left click quick selection tool, you can adjust the size of the brush with the bracket keys on your keyboard. So let me just minimize this a little bit, and all you do is it's based on edge detection, so just go around the edge of your subject. Now I am doing this by mouse just to show you that you don't always have to have these expensive graphics tablets, even though I do have one and it is my preferred method of editing, but for this we'll just use the mouse, okay? And just let me go around here. So basically it's based on edge detection, so just go around the edge of your subject, make sure that you're happy, and just finesse it there now, and make sure that you have the right and correct amount of your subject in frame. Okay, now if you see that there is added selection in the selection that you've made, just come on to your options bar here and you can add and remove to that selection as you please. So if I just remove, I'll just bring this up to the edge here. Once I'm happy, I'm just going to take out that shadow. So now that I have basically selected everything that I want to keep in color, all I do is, if I do any adjustments right now, it's going to affect this snake. So what we're going to do is, instead we're going to come up to select, go to inverse, and it will select everything except for the snake. Now just let me take this out here. There's another little bit there that shouldn't be there. So it's basically selecting everything except for the snake. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over to our non-destructive adjustments. I'm going to click on this icon here, which is black and white, and as you can see, nice and easy, straightforward, there's our color splash. The snake is in color, the background is in black and white, and then from here you can make one or two little adjustments on the colors within that black and white. Okay, so you can bring down the yellows more, your reds more, and so forth, just to get that look that you want to achieve. Okay, once you're happy, just click off this X, and there you have your very first color splash image. Okay, now from here, which we will go into in later lessons, is adding text and watermarks and so forth to it. But this is as simple as it is to do a color splash image. And then from here, all you need to do is come up to your file, go to export, give it a moment there now, make sure that it's on JPEG, and then you can select the photo size that you want. Okay, so different photos or different qualities may be of preference to you. For me, this is what I like at the moment, and this is the one that I tend to leave it on. And then all you do is click export, and it will export this nice color splash image onto wherever you want to save it on your computer or into the cloud, and keep it up for safekeeping. Keep it up for, if you want to share it on social media, or if you want to get it printed. Again, all you have to do is click export, and it will be there for you on that location on your computer. Okay, so as you can see, nice and simple steps to achieve it without getting bogged down too much in Photoshop and trying to understand everything that there is to know about Photoshop. It does take a long time to get your head around it, but if you follow my steps on each video, over time, once you keep doing it, it will get easier, and you will learn a lot more that way, I find, because that's the way I learned, was through doing it myself, making my own mistakes, because I was very overwhelmed when I opened Photoshop. I didn't know what all of this was, or what this was. So again, it took me time to get my head around it, but this is, I find, is a good way of learning. Is we'll just edit photos and use the tools that we need as we go, and over time, the more we use them, the more they will stay fresh in your mind. Okay, so I hope this helps. I hope that you get to explore color splash that a little bit more with your own photos. What I will ask from you is a couple of things. Number one is, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. This is my first video, and based on this, I will create more videos, and we'll do more intricate composites later down the line as well. But for this week, what I'd like to do is I would like to issue a challenge to anyone who has watched this video and is interested in doing color splash. So I want you to pick any photo you want, do any sort of color splash that you want on that photo, and tag me in it. Okay, so you can find me at Ger McGuinness Photography on Facebook, or you can find me on Instagram at Ger_McGuinness_photography. Okay, use the hashtag, let's see, what hashtag will we just use? The hashtag Ger McGuinness Photography. Okay, CS. So Ger McGuinness Photography, and then at the end of it put CS for color splash, and I will view them, and I'll come back to you with some feedback and so forth, and yeah, we'll learn as we go. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to the next lesson. Everyone stay safe. Talk to you soon.